Hello, my name is Sarah. I am an English teacher and language anxiety coach, and welcome to the second lesson in the 5-day Think Positive Speaking Challenge. This lesson looks at how you can boost your speaking with a speaking journal. So, what is a speaking journal? Now, of all of our language skills, our second language skills, I think that speaking is the hardest one for us to be objective about. You know, if you do writing for your teacher, they will give it back to you and there will be good things and bad things and comments, and you'll get an idea of were you good or not good. With your listening, it's easy to do a test. With your grammar, it's easy to do a test. But with speaking, having that kind of mirror back to yourself so that you can see what's good and what needs to be improved is much, much harder to find. The only real way you have it is by asking your teacher for feedback or a colleague or something, and that's great, but it means that you don't have the power to do it for yourself. And I am a big believer in empowerment, so really looking at ways that learners can be as independent as possible. Now, we are all trained in education and life to be very forward thinking. You know, I need to be at C1, I need to be at C2, I need to be fluent, I need to be this, I need to be that. And we look forwards all the time at where we want to be. But most of us are not so good at looking back from where we came from. And this is a little bit of a problem, because if we only look forwards, we are only ever looking at things we want to do but can't do yet. And while there is nothing wrong with this, it can lead to a feeling of frustration or dissatisfaction with our abilities. When we practice looking back at where we came from, where we were a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, we can realize how much we have changed and grown and improved. And that then gives us the courage to keep moving forwards. Now, you might have ways of looking back with your writing because you've been writing stuff for your teacher. You might know about this because perhaps you did PET and then you did FCE and then you're now working at CAE, so you have this kind of record. But with speaking, most of us don't have any record. We just kind of rely on what other people tell us, whether that be Cambridge exams, our boss, or our partner. So a speaking journal really aims to change that and give you the ability to look backwards and assess where you have been and how much progress you have made in that time. So basically, a speaking journal is a collection of either voice recordings or videos that you make of yourself speaking English. Now, when I suggest doing this to my students, most of them are not very happy with me because they don't want to make a voice recording. They don't want to. They certainly don't want to make a video because they don't like their pronunciation. They don't like the way they sound. They don't like what they look like, you know. So they have a lot of resistance to making recordings of themselves. And I understand. I've been making this kind of video for 2 years or maybe 3 years now, and when I started making these videos, I hated them. I hated what I looked like. I hated what I sounded like. I felt really shy and kind of a bit stupid to sit here and talk to my phone. It's crazy. Why am I doing this? But my need to make these videos was more important than my need not to feel stupid. So I just persevered with making videos. And I don't always like the videos. I don't always like what I look like. Sometimes I make videos outside and I'm wearing my glasses and I have no makeup and it's raining and I look like a mess. But I kind of don't really care. And although my videos are public videos, you don't ever need to share your speaking journal with anybody. It can be your private journal. No one needs to hear. No one needs to see. It's for you. Now, this should mean that hopefully you feel a little bit more confident to make some recordings. And I'm going to share with you now the process I would recommend in making a speaking journal. All right, so this is how I would recommend that you start making your speaking journal. Now, to begin with, I would recommend that you keep it fairly simple, okay? Unless you are working for an exam, you want to make the topics that are easy for you to talk about. So your family, your hobbies, the weather in your country, your hometown, your favorite food, anything, it doesn't really matter. But to begin with, to give yourself that confidence, make it something that you know you can talk about, okay? When you've got more confidence, then by all means push yourself. But at the beginning, it's good to get that feeling of achievement, so keep it nice and simple. Once you've got a few topics that you are happy with, you need to decide when you are going to make your recording, and this is really important. There is a big difference between saying, yeah, I'm going to make some recordings, and being, yeah, okay, I've got time to do this on Monday evening and on Thursday morning and on Saturday afternoon. I'm going to put those in my Google Calendar now. That first example, will the student manage to make the recordings? I guess probably not. But the second student who has committed specific times and put them in their calendar will be much more likely to make the recordings. And even better is to tell someone else. Tell your teacher, tell a friend, tell your partner, and get that accountability. Because if they say to you, hey, how was your voice recording? And you say, oh, I didn't make it. It's not a very nice feeling, okay? So the more that you can commit yourself, the more likely you are to take the action. So you got your topics, you decided on your times. The next thing to do is to kind of choose your topic for your first video, and also choose a specific aim for that video. And this is really, really important. If you have an aim, a specific aim, it is much easier to be objective about your speaking, because you can see how far you are from your aim. If you have no aim, how can you assess it? What criteria are you going to use to assess your speaking if you haven't set yourself a goal? Okay, so here are some examples of goals that you could use in a recording. I aim to talk about my job for 2 minutes. I aim to use 3 of the new words I learnt today. I aim to use at least 1 conditional sentence. I aim to sound more fluent than last time. All of these aims are really specific. They all just focus on one thing. No one is saying, oh, I'm going to work on my grammar and then I really want to use that idiom and then I really need to be fluent as well, because it's just too much for one voice recording. So one specific aim. Now, the other thing about these goals is they are all really positive goals, because you want to be moving towards something positive rather than moving away from something negative. Now that last goal, I aim to be more fluent than last time. It could have been, I aim to be less hesitant than last time. But we want you to be moving towards that positive thing rather than moving away from a negative thing. So keep the goal for the recording short, specific, and positive. Now, once you've done all this, get your phone or another recording device. You can go onto Zoom on your laptop, whatever you want to do, and make your recording. And then afterwards, obviously, you need to listen to the recording. And I would suggest that you ask yourself these 4 questions. Number 1, to what extent did I achieve my aim? Number 2, what went well? Number 3, what else went well? And number 4, what one thing would I improve next time? Now, these questions are designed to help you be positive about your recording. It would be a real shame if you made a recording and listened to it and said, oh my God, I'm terrible, my English is awful, my pronunciation sucks, oh my God, I made so many mistakes. This is not what we want you to do, okay? The whole purpose of this is to help you start to be objective about your speaking and to notice all of the good things that you are doing, as well as the things you need to work on. So here is your challenge. I'd like you, or I invite you, to use the steps above and to plan your speaking journal. So choose your topics, commit to some times, and make that first recording with a specific aim. And if you want some accountability, you can share your findings below. What was it like? What was it like to listen to yourself? Did you enjoy it? What did you learn from the experience? Now, there are 5 lessons in this speaking challenge. You are welcome just to watch them all on YouTube. They're all in this playlist. If you would like to get the downloadable PDFs that go with each lesson, you can either click on the link in the description box, or you can go to my YouTube banner, which should be up there somewhere, and click on the button that will take you to the free course. You'll get the downloadable PDFs every day, and you'll get the links for these video lessons. Now, I understand that you might be very busy, you might have a lot going on, and the last thing that I would want for you is that you feel stressed and anxious about completing these challenges in 5 days. Work through these ideas at your own speed. This is not a competition, this is not a race. Choose the ideas that work best for you and try those first. You don't have to do everything all at once, okay? Take your time and enjoy the process. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's been useful for you. Any comments, questions, do leave them below, and I am looking forward to seeing you again in lesson 3 to talk about practicing accuracy and fluency. See you then. Bye bye.